Good day, dear students, and welcome back to yet another science class. As you all know, to produce its own kind is a characteristic of all living organisms. The process by which living organisms produce their young ones is called reproduction. So today, let us learn how plants reproduce in chapter number 12, titled Reproduction in Plants. In this module, we will be learning about the different parts of a flowering plant, the two modes of reproduction, that is, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. The student will also recall and identify asexual modes of reproduction in plants such as vegetative propagation and budding. In class 6, I am sure you have learnt about the different parts of the plant. That is, a plant has roots, it has a stem, it has leaves, it has flowers, and it has buds. The roots, stem, and leaves are called the vegetative parts of the plant, and the flowers are called the reproductive parts of the plant. A flower may have either the male or the female part, or it can have both the male as well as the female part. Reproduction in plants is based on two modes of reproduction, that is, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, plants give rise to young ones without the production of seeds, whereas in sexual reproduction, plants give rise to young ones with the presence of seeds. The different types of asexual reproduction are vegetative propagation, budding, fragmentation, and spore formation. Let us now learn about vegetative propagation in detail. When new plants are produced from the vegetative parts of a plant, that is, the root, leaves, and stem, it is called vegetative propagation. For example, vegetative propagation is seen in a rose plant. Cut a branch of a rose plant with a node. This piece of branch is known as a cutting. As you can see here, the node is a part of the stem or the branch from which a new shoot arises. Water the cutting for several days regularly. After some days, you will observe that the new shoot propagates. This is an example of how a rose plant propagates or reproduces using vegetative propagation. Another example of a plant which reproduces using vegetative propagation is a potato. A potato is an underground stem. As you can see here, this potato has some scars on it. These scars are known as the eyes of the potato. Cut a slice of the potato having these eyes and grow it in the soil and water it regularly. You will observe that from these eyes of the potato, a new potato plant germinates. You can see it here. I have grown it at home. This is a potato plant which has germinated or sprouted from the eyes of the potato. Ginger and turmeric also reproduce in the same way by vegetative propagation. So also spring onion also propagates or reproduces using vegetative propagation. Carrot and beetroot are underground roots and they also reproduce by vegetative propagation. Plants such as cacti, as you can see here, they also reproduce using vegetative propagation. As you can see, this is the main plant body, and you can see that there are smaller plants protruding out or smaller parts protruding out. When these smaller parts fall into the soil, a new cactus plant germinates. Vegetative propagation also is seen in bryophyllum. The bryophyllum leaf has buds in its notches. If these buds fall onto the soil, they will germinate into a new bryophyllum plant. So students, from this we can conclude and say that vegetative propagation has many advantages, such as plants produced by vegetative propagation take less time to grow and bear flowers and fruits earlier than those produced from seeds. The new plants are exact copies of the parent plant, as they are produced from a single parent. Now, let us move on to the second type of asexual reproduction, that is budding. Budding is seen in yeast. Yeast are single-celled microorganisms. These grow and multiply every few hours if sufficient nutrients are made available to them. The small bulb-like projection that you can see, which is coming out from the yeast cell, is called a bud. The bud gradually grows and gets detached from the parent cell and forms a new yeast cell. The new yeast cell grows, matures, and produces more yeast cells. If this process continues, a large number of yeast cells are produced in a short time. So students, today we have learnt about reproduction, the different modes of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, and also we have learnt about two types of asexual reproduction, namely vegetative propagation and budding. Thank you students. Have a nice day.